The special effects budgets for big movies like Prometheus can be hundreds of millions. Using my homemade animatronics, I'm going to attempt to recreate some of my favourite iconic animatronic scenes on a shoestring budget, and I'll show you how I do it using my open source designs and custom electronics.
I think it's a helmet. Let's see if we can lift it up.
Yeah, we should be able to prise this open.
Like so.
I think we can trick the nervous system into thinking it's still alive. 30 amps.
Okay.
No more.
Yep.
Did you see that? Maybe it's a little bit too much. Go down 10.
Okay, down 10.
Down another 20.
Yep, okay, I'm trying. It's not going
Go
down.
down. Turn it off now!
Oh God, the smell! Oh, don't look at that, look at that. It's a bit worse.
Mortal after all.
The final piece of the puzzle of the Epsilon eye mechanism system, a project I've been working on for the past few years, is this, my handheld controller. I made the very first prototype in 2019, which had to be hand soldered and screwed together. To kick off my new design, I hand sculpted a shape out of clay so I knew that it would be ergonomic, and I used a 3D scanner to get this precise shape into my CAD software and based all of the dimensions off of that. I also designed my own PCB, which in a single board contains the joystick, switch, potentiometer and output cable. The outer shell snaps together around the internal PCB, so there are only 3 core components. That's over a 60% reduction in part count since the first version. The head, which you might already recognise, is an ongoing project which uses my Epsilon series eye mechanism and a realistic silicone skin, along with mechanisms for the jaw, lips, eyebrows and tongue. To make this reenactment, I stripped out all of the electronics and replaced it with 2 of my PCBs, one for the eye mechanism and one for the mouth, each controlled with a separate handheld controller. You can buy both these boards on my shop now, and this time we're fully stocked and it's not going to be a pre-order / back-order situation like before. All of my PCBs were designed, prototyped and are now manufactured at scale with JLCPCB. They are the best option for PCBs because I can make a design using Easy EDA, which is plugged into JLCPCB's full parts library and stock data, so at no point do I have to mess around making footprints, searching for datasheets, or worrying about stock levels when I make my designs. And then when I'm ready to order, it's just one click to transfer all of that design data into my JLC shopping basket. So no more formatting placement tables, bomb sheets. It's really easy, and that's why I genuinely gush to my friends at the pub about how easy it is and how much time it saves me. JLC PCB are fast, reliable and low cost, and that's what makes them unbeatable.
Go ahead, open it.
What is it?
No.
It's your new pet.
Come on, Barney, be a good dog. Dad, it's really neat. Where did you get this?
Oh, some little junk store in Chinatown.
Can I pick him up, Dad?
Sure, go ahead. Just be careful. You gotta be gentle.
I will.
I hope he's housebroken.
Oh, isn't he cute? Has it got a name, Dad?
Yeah, Mogwai.
What?
Mogwai.
My Epsilon series eye mechanism has been a super successful design, and I've been delighted to see so many of you guys building your own and putting them into all sorts of unique applications. It does, however, have some limitations. This design is very much made to go into humanoid head designs, specifically ones with a 75mm spacing between the eyes. What about applications where the eye spacing is different? What about if there's no space behind the eyes because the head isn't deep enough? And what if you want 3 eyes or 6 eyes or just 1? This is the basis for the Zeta series iMech. Yep, we've had Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta and Epsilon. Zeta is going to be next. And I have a lot of ideas about what I want this one to feature, probably too many to bore you with right now, but critically I want it to consist of eye modules which are configurable, modular and flexible. That's right, I'm breaking the 2-eye binary. One critical factor with these iMech designs is that they're horizontal, and so they need a lot of space behind to fit. I want the Zeta series iMechs to work at different orientations, so there might be a vertical configuration, diagonal, and horizontal. A prototype of the vertical version was the basis of this Gizmo design, because his head was very shallow behind the eyes, so I tucked the whole mechanism down into his body. I have a few different theories and prototypes for how this might work, but one thing I did in this version, which allows the mechanism to work at any orientation and also saves a lot of horizontal space, was to move the X-axis servo behind the eye and drive it using a small 3D printed gear. You can get the CAD for my current work in progress designs on my Patreon page, but the main launch of the Zeta series iMechanism system is going to be through Kickstarter, since I think it will be an easier way to manage pre-orders and communicate with backers, rather than what we did before, which was just to let people make orders and then fulfill them once we had the stock. If you're interested in that, I have a link below to register your interest, but I'll be back at some point to announce it properly. Now I've talked enough about iMechanisms. What if I use my controller and driver board for something completely different?
You just know you know what it's made of.
No, Dad. I don't want to talk about what it's made of. I'm eating this. What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby.
You chew what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What? Hey, what's Oh! Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
So to finish off, I wanted to make something which didn't even include an iMechanism but used the same system. So I took my iMech board and my new controller and I used it to power this tentacle mechanism with an extra little hinge on the jaw to act as a mouth. Now because I'm very lazy and I was quite short on time for this scene, I actually used the exact same code I get preloaded onto these PCBs to control the iMechanism, and it happens to work pretty well without any tweaks at all. Tentacle mechanisms are much simpler than they look. There are two pulleys controlling two opposing cables, and pulling on any cable causes the springs on that side to compress and the whole system to bend evenly towards that direction. I just use a pair for motion in the X plane and a pair for motion in the Y plane, but you can get much more fancy with stacking up multiple layers of pulleys and having a multi-stage tentacle for more degrees of freedom. If you saw the last video, you'll know that I'm having a big headache recently with silicone, so I wanted to try something different this time. I won't lie, it ended up looking a bit arts and crafts, but this method should be accessible to just about anyone, and it was extremely cheap. All I did was to sculpt the features in foam clay, making sure that all of the moving parts have room for their ranges of motion, and then use some 4-way stretch fabric in areas I wanted to be able to stretch and deform, like the corners of the mouth and the main tentacle body. Finally, I added some texture and realism by painting on a few layers of liquid latex, especially soaking it into the fabric so it would stretch more naturally and blend into the skin of the body. My iMechanism and controller are two of many open source projects you can download and make for free. On my shop I sell realistic eyeballs, PCBs and kits, and everything else you see in this video you can find on my Patreon page, and at every tier you can also receive access to my entire database of CAD files, which is live and kept constantly updated. And don't forget to register your interest if you want to follow along with the development of the Zeta iMech series, or potentially join the Kickstarter. As always, a huge thanks to my patrons, and I'll see you all in the next video.